Hi, my name's Kevin Hastings. We're here in Stockholm, Sweden at the Hovet Arena, and I'm here playing a show with Rihanna tonight, and I wanted to tell you all about how I use Reason live, so come check it out with me. Man, well, being on the road, it's a trip. It really becomes its own world. The number one things that I always forget are like what day it is, what time it is, what city I'm in. I forgot what month it was one time. Seriously, it just becomes its own entity where everything revolves around where you go, what city you're in, and what hotel you're at. But being on the road is fun. It feels like a party all the time. It feels like if you're with the right group of people, they really do become family, and it really can be very, very enjoyable. And I just love to travel. I love seeing so many different cultures and seeing so much of the world. That's probably the coolest part, is just constantly going to different countries and different environments. And then on top of all of that, you get to play music everywhere you go. So my typical day starts around 11 a.m., noon, sometimes later, depending on how tired I am. And I wake up, I shower, usually in a hotel. Then you head down to the venue, you do a quick sound check, you break for dinner, and then the opening act goes on, and you just sit and chill on the internet, make little YouTube videos or whatever you want to do, write a song in Reason, and then you play the show. And then after the show, depending on, again, how tired you are, either you just go right back to bed or everybody goes out for a drink. It's really just pretty relaxed. It's fun. It's just a lot of fun. Well, this here is my keyboard setup for the Rihanna tour. And everything starts right here on my laptop with Reason. I got my whole rack set up here. I got it all my own custom patches labeled by songs. And you can see that I've got a good amount of stuff going on inside of here. Then from Reason, I run USB out to my M-Audio controller, which is one of my favorite controllers. This is just super fantastic. I got the hip pads up here. Just throw in some of the samples right from the original audio sessions in the studio. So Rihanna's MD just says, hey, we need this sample for Umbrella. We need this sample for SOS. I load it right into Reason. It takes me literally about 4 seconds. And then I just map it over to my hip pads, and it just works like a charm. So then there's that keyboard. Then I got my wireless M-Audio, which runs on Reason as well. And it's fun. I've fashioned a strap to it so I can run around stage and, you know, rock out close to the crowd. So it's pretty fun. I like to throw it around and beat it up quite a bit. But and that just runs wirelessly right back to Reason. I control Reason doing a couple different synth sounds that I've custom made. Well, what I decided to do to solve the patch change issue is change global MIDI channels on my keyboard itself. So I set up in Reason, under the advanced MIDI section, I just set up all my different instruments in the different global MIDI channels. Well, what's in my Reason rack most popularly is the NNXT sampler. I use that for many different synthesizer sounds, as well as uploading my own samples, be it, you know, something from the original session that they want to hear, or something I've created that I just want on a one-note sample. And that is probably the most popular thing in my rack, is that NNXT sampler. To make my Umbrella synth sound, I started with a pre-made Reason sound that I loaded in that was pretty close to what I was looking for. And then I just manipulated it a little bit. I put some portamento on there to give it that swooping sound that I was looking for. I layered it with another sample, actually, and then I affected some of the ADSR levels. And then to top it all off, I added a delay on it, and it was so it could be in time with the song. And once all those pieces came together, it was just a couple things that I changed, but it made a drastically different sound that was custom to my own looking, as well as something that sounded similar to the record, but it wasn't identical, because I didn't really want it to be the exact same. So that's how I made that. It's all based on a saw wave, and I think it sounds really good. Well, I've been using Reason Live for about 2.5, 3 years now, and all the way back to just Reason 3.0. I've never had it crash on me live. And I don't know if it's a computer thing or if it's a propeller head thing, but I know that I find Reason to be very reliable in a live situation, and even to the point where I don't even have a backup computer. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I've literally never had Reason freeze. I've never had Reason die, and that to me is a big reason why I like to use it live. I think what I would tell most people that want to get into this industry, be it touring musicians or artists, is first of all, practice your own crafts. Like, you can never practice too much. Practice, be it your fingers or your programming chops, if that's something you want to do, or your singing chops. If you just practice and really, really get that instrument honed, then you're always gonna set yourself up for a better situation. And then I would say, for me, the best thing that I ever did to get to where I am is I moved to LA. And being in America, just a simple move to LA is a pretty big deal. But once I got down there, I was right in the middle of a bunch of artists, a bunch of producers, a bunch of A&R people. And it took me, as a keyboard player, it only took me about 6 months to get in. And that was just doing auditions and going to clubs and meeting people and networking, you know. So for me, a big piece of my success story is just moving to LA. But then also, you really just have to put yourself out there. And a big way that I've done that is I just go to auditions, and even if it's an audition I don't even really think I would want, I still go and I still do my best, because I'm gonna meet people there. I'm gonna meet a producer, I'm gonna meet another musician, or I'm gonna meet, you know, an artist. And then from doing that, I kept getting bigger and bigger auditions, and my network kept growing. And that was a big way that I really, really got plugged in really fast.